They told you there are 7. For thousands of years, seekers of truth have studied the Kybalion. We have memorized the 7 Hermetic principles. We recite them like a mantra: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. We believe that if we master these 7 laws, we become masters of reality. But look around you. Look at the spiritual masters who know these laws, yet remain trapped in cycles of suffering. Look at the chaos of a world that understands the mechanics of physics, but lacks the soul to direct it. Why does the secret often fail? Why does the law of attraction seem to work only sporadically? It is because you have been given an engine without fuel. Imagine a magnificent machine, intricate in its design, perfect in its gears and levers. That is the 7 Hermetic Laws. It describes the structure of the cage, but it does not give you the key to open the door. The ancient mystery schools knew something they did not write in the public texts. There is a missing component, a hidden variable in the equation of creation. Hidden deep within the subtext of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and later validated by the consciousness mechanics of Itzhak Bentov, lies an 8th principle. It is the lost word of the Masons. It is the philosopher's stone of the alchemists. It is the active force that breathes life into the static structure of the universe. Without this 8th principle, the other 7 are merely a prison of beautiful geometry. Without this key, you are just a lucid dreamer trapped in a dream you cannot change. Today, we break the seal. We are going to decode the 8th principle, the generative principle of the universe. We will explore why this knowledge was removed from the mainstream occult teachings, how Itzhak Bentov described it as the hydroelectric power of consciousness, and how you can physically activate this force to stop repeating your karmic loops. This is not just philosophy. This is the physics of escape. Before we unlock the first seal, if you are one of the 2% who feel that there is a glitch in the matrix and are willing to look directly at the code, please click subscribe and the notification bell. It signals to the algorithm and perhaps to the universe itself that you are ready for the deeper decoding. To understand the power of the missing key, we must first briefly survey the lock. The 7 Hermetic principles, as commonly taught, are the operating system of this reality. They are the code. The principle of mentalism tells us the all is mind, establishing that the universe is a mental projection. The principle of correspondence tells us, as above, so below, revealing the fractal nature of reality. Vibration tells us that nothing rests, everything moves. These laws are scientifically accurate. In fact, modern quantum physics is essentially just catching up to Hermeticism. We know now that matter is energy, vibration, that the observer affects the observed, mentalism, and that systems repeat patterns at different scales, correspondence. But here is the dangerous trap. Understanding the structure of a prison does not inherently set you free. You can know exactly how the bars are made, the melting point of the steel, and the architectural layout of the cell, and still remain a prisoner. Think of the 7 laws as the passive or structural components of reality. They describe how things happen,
but they do not explain why they continue to happen or what sustains the motion. For example, the principle of cause and effect explains that every action has a reaction. It describes the chain, but it does not explain what initiated the first cause. The principle of rhythm tells us the pendulum swings left and right. But who pushed the pendulum? This is where the deception lies. By focusing only on these 7 laws, humanity has been entrapped in what the Gnostics might call a demiurgic loop. We become obsessed with manipulating the effects, trying to change the reflection in the mirror without changing the face. We try to use mentalism to manifest wealth, but we do it from a state of fear. We try to use vibration to heal, but we do it with a closed heart. We are trying to drive a car by turning the steering wheel while the engine is cold and dead. The ancients, including Thoth the Atlantean, understood that these 7 laws are merely the body of the universe, but a body without a spirit is a corpse. There is an animating force, a specific frequency or quality of consciousness that acts as the binding agent for all the others. Without this agent, the universe would dissolve back into chaos. It was hidden because it is the most dangerous knowledge of all. It is the knowledge that turns a creation into a creator.
So, what is this missing key? In the veiled language of the ancients, it has been called many names: the glory of the whole world, the rose of the Rosicrucians, or simply the great work. But in plain modern language, we can call the 8th principle the principle of care, or the generative principle. Now, pause. Do not let the simplicity of the word care deceive you. We are not talking about caring in the sentimental, emotional sense of sending a greeting card or feeling pity. We are not talking about human affection. In the context of universal physics and Bentov's mechanics, care is a technical term. It represents focused, generative attention fused with high-frequency resonance. Let's break this down using Itzhak Bentov's model of the universe. Bentov taught us that consciousness creates reality through a feedback loop. We project energy out, it interacts with the hologram, and it bounces back to us. But what determines the quality and the strength of that projection? It is the intensity of the signal. The 8th principle states that which you do not care for, you cannot create, and that which you do not care for will eventually decay. This is the engine. The 7 laws provide the mechanism for manifestation, but the 8th principle provides the energy for it. Consider the word generator. To generate means to bring into existence. The generative principle is the driving force of will combined with the unifying force of love. Thoth hints at this in the Emerald Tablets when he speaks of the light life. He says, "Light is the source of all life, for without the great light, nothing can exist."
This light is not photons. It is the generative principle. It is the active investment of your consciousness into a specific reality. Why was this hidden? Because this principle creates a bridge between the mind, mentalism, and the physical world, Earth. If you know mentalism, I think it, but you lack the generative principle, I feel it and I fuel it, nothing happens. This is why so many intellectuals understand the occult, but live miserable lives. They have the map, the 7 laws, but they have no fuel, the 8th principle. They are operating in a cold, sterile vacuum of intellect. This leads us to a startling realization about the God code inside your brain. We have discussed the pineal gland as an antenna, but an antenna only receives. What transmits? The transmitter is the heart-brain system operating in coherence. The 8th principle is the spark that jumps the gap between the thought and the thing. It is the alchemical fire. Consider the implications. If the universe is a feedback loop, as Bentov suggests, then the universe effectively reads what you care about to determine what to keep in your reality. If you are indifferent, if you are in a state of apathy, which is the absence of care, you are literally signaling to the universe that you do not exist. Apathy is the death of the soul because it shuts down the generative principle. You become a non-player character, NPC, in the simulation, simply reacting to the cause and effect created by others who do have the generative principle active.
Let us deepen this definition through the lens of Itzhak Bentov. In his exploration of the wild pendulum of consciousness, Bentov described love not as a sentiment, but as the highest possible frequency of the universal field. He explained that as consciousness expands, it vibrates faster. High vibration is synonymous with high order, high coherence, and high interconnectivity. Low vibration is synonymous with separation and chaos. Therefore, the 8th principle, the generative principle, is the physics of connectivity. When you care for something, you are essentially establishing a quantum entanglement with it. You are collapsing the wave function through sustained high-frequency observation. Think of the 7 laws as the raw materials of a house, the wood, the brick, the glass. You can have all the materials, the 7 laws, piled up in a field. They follow the laws of physics, gravity, polarity, but they will never become a house on their own. What is missing? The builder. The builder is the generative principle. It is the directed application of energy that organizes chaos into order. Thoth warns us in the tablets, wisdom without application is like a fire that gives no warmth. The 8th principle is that application. It is the movement from knowing to being. Without it, the universe is just a static hologram, a potentiality that never becomes a reality.
But here is where the danger lies. This is why the 8th principle was hidden from the uninitiated. Because if you attempt to use the 7 laws, Without the eighth principle of true generative care, you enter the lucid trap. This is the state of many modern spiritual seekers. They study the Kybalion, they learn mentalism, they understand that thoughts become things, so they try to manipulate reality from the level of the ego. They try to force the universe to give them wealth, power, or relationships purely through mental gymnastics. They treat the universe like a vending machine. But because they lack the generative principle, the heart-centered frequency, their manifestations are hollow. They create thought forms that are brittle and temporary. Have you ever noticed how some people manifest a fortune only to lose it all in chaos a year later? Or manifest a relationship that turns toxic? This happens because they are building with the 7 laws, but without the binding agent of the 8th. They are building a tower without cement. It stands for a moment, held together by the friction of their willpower. But the moment their focus wavers, entropy takes over and it collapses. This is the dark occultism trap, using the laws of the universe to serve the separated self rather than the whole. Thoth describes this as the path of the dark brothers, those who use the power but deny the unity. In Bentov's terms, this is a cancerous cell behavior. A cancer cell is very successful at first. It grows, it takes resources, it expands using the laws of growth. But because it does not care for the whole body, because it lacks the generative principle of unity, it eventually kills the host and destroys itself. The trap is intellectual pride. We think that because we know the code, we are the programmers. But unless you are running the code through the processor of the heart, the seat of the 8th principle, you are merely a glitch in the system. The universe will eventually correct you. This correction often comes in the form of what we call bad karma, which is simply the system's immune response to a cell that has stopped caring.
Concept: the missing key and the lock. A massive, ornate cosmic lock floating in the center of a nebula. A silhouette of a missing key glowing with intense white light nearby. Mysterious and ancient atmosphere. Visionary art style. Hyper-detailed polished render. Deep blues and gold accents. Concept: 7 principles as the operating system. The fabric of reality revealed as streaming vertical code made of golden light and sacred geometry symbols. Operating system of reality. Digital meets spiritual. Ethereal glow. Metaphysical theme. Visionary art style. 4K resolution. Concept: mentalism. The all is mind. A giant transparent cosmic brain or head containing the entire universe inside it. Stars and galaxies swirling within the mind. Universe is a mental projection. Centered subject, bioluminescence, vibrant purples and pinks, visionary art style. Concept: correspondence, as above, so below. A split composition showing a macro galaxy mirroring a micro-atomic structure, perfectly symmetrical. Fractal nature of reality, as above, so below. Connecting threads of light, cosmic color palette, visionary art style. Concept: vibration, nothing rests. Everything in the frame is dissolving into waves of frequency and sound, vibrating strings of energy, dynamic motion blur, everything moves, highly saturated neon colors, psychedelic vibes, visionary art style. Concept: science catching up to Hermeticism, an ancient Egyptian scroll merging into a modern quantum physics equation, the paper turning into digital data,
blending of old and new knowledge, mystic atmosphere, golden light, visionary art style, polished illustration. Concept: matter is energy, a solid object like a crystal or stone disintegrating into pure, flowing energy and light, demonstrating matter is energy. High contrast, dramatic ethereal lighting, glowing edges, visionary art style. Concept: observer affects the observed, a giant glowing cosmic eye looking at a wave of particles, the particles arranging themselves into order under the gaze. Observer effect: surreal, metaphysical theme, vibrant cyan and magenta, visionary art style. Concept: systems repeat patterns, fractals, an infinite zoom into a nautilus shell where each chamber contains a galaxy, repeating patterns at different scales, fractal geometry, hypnotic, centered composition, visionary art style, hyper-detailed. Concept: the trap, structure of a prison, a beautiful glowing geometric lattice structure that looks like a cage surrounding the viewer, structure of a prison, deceptive beauty, symmetrical framing, cosmic background, visionary art style. Concept: knowing the bars and layout, extreme close-up of the bars of reality, revealing they are made of mathematical formulas and light, knowing exactly how the bars are made. Technical yet spiritual, sharp focus, polished render, visionary art style. Concept: remaining a prisoner, a figure sitting calmly in a meditative pose inside the geometric cage, holding a blueprint of the cage, but not moving, remaining a prisoner. Somber yet illuminated mood, dramatic lighting, visionary art style. Concept: passive structural components, the universe depicted as a static, frozen architectural structure, beautiful scaffolding of space without movement. Passive components, cold blue and silver tones, ethereal atmosphere, visionary art style. Concept: mechanism without the why, complex celestial gears and levers interlocking perfectly but standing still. How things happen but not why. Intricate design, metallic gold and deep black, visionary art style, hyper-detailed. Concept: cause and effect, the chain, an endless chain of falling dominoes made of starlight winding through the cosmos, the chain of cause and effect. Perspective shot leading into the distance, glowing trails, visionary art style. Concept: the first cause, unexplained, the very first domino in the void waiting to fall but nothing is pushing it. What initiated the first cause? Mystery, negative space, spotlight effect on the object, visionary art style. Concept: rhythm, the pendulum, a giant cosmic pendulum swinging across the sky, leaving trails of time and light. Pendulum swings left and right, dynamic motion, symmetry, hypnotic, visionary art style, vibrant cosmic colors. Concept: who pushed the pendulum? A ghostly, invisible hand made of pure energy just barely touching the pendulum. Who pushed the pendulum? The unseen force, mystical, ethereal glow, high contrast, visionary art style. Concept: the deception, demiurgic loop, a figure running inside a giant glowing wheel or Ouroboros, snake-eating tail, trapped in a loop, infinite cycle, frustration, psychedelic background, vibrant saturated colors, visionary art style. Concept: changing reflection in the mirror, a person staring into a cosmic mirror trying to wipe the reflection while their actual face remains the same. Changing reflection without changing the face. Surreal, metaphorical, dramatic lighting, visionary art style. Concept: manifesting from fear, a pair of hands trying to conjure gold coins, but the energy surrounding them is jagged, dark, and fearful, manifesting wealth from a state of fear. Visual dissonance, dark fantasy elements, visionary art style. Concept: healing with a closed heart, a glowing heart chakra that is blocked by dark chains trying to emit healing vibrations but failing. Healing with a closed heart. Emotional, symbolic, bioluminescence, visionary art style. Concept, driving with a dead engine. A futuristic ethereal vehicle steering through space, but the engine is cold and gray, no exhaust or power. Steering wheel while engine is dead. Sense of futility, cosmic background, visionary art style. Concept, body without spirit. A beautiful celestial body, humanoid shape, made of stars, but it is dim and lifeless. Body without spirit is a corpse, lacking the internal glow, fading into the dark void, melancholy, visionary art style. When you do this, you are no longer asking the universe for something. You are becoming the generator of that reality. You are vibrating at a rate that reality must exist. As Bentov would say, you are moving your consciousness to a point on the pendulum swing where that timeline is valid. It sounds simple, yet it is the hardest thing for a human to do. Why? Because we are addicted to the screen of the mind. We are addicted to the noise. To activate the eighth principle requires silence, focus, and a terrifying amount of responsibility. It means acknowledging that everything in your life right now, the good, the bad, and the boring, is there because on some level you have generated it or you have failed to care enough to change it. Consider this. If the universe is a conscious hologram, it is waiting for instructions, but it does not understand English or Vietnamese or math. It understands frequency. The eighth principle is the master language. If your lips say, "I am wealthy," but your heart screams, "I am afraid of poverty," the universe listens to the heart. The generator always wins over the blueprint. When you successfully engage this eighth principle, when you fuse the electric clarity of the mind with the magnetic gravity of the heart, something miraculous happens to the structure of your reality. The feedback loop changes. Itzhak Bentov described the universe as a holographic feedback loop. We are constantly sending signals out, and the universe is constantly echoing them back. But usually, the signal is weak, distorted by our doubts and fears. The echo returns as noise. This is why life feels chaotic. But when the generative principle is active, the signal becomes a laser. It is coherent. And here is the most profound secret of all. When you care with this level of intensity, the separation between the observer and the observed begins to dissolve. In standard consciousness, you feel like a tiny subject looking at a giant object, the world. You feel small. You feel like a victim of circumstance. But under the eighth principle, you realize that the world is just the shadow cast by your own internal light. If you move the light, the shadow must move. It has no choice. The physical world has no free will of its own. It is merely a compliant mirror. Thoth wrote in the tablets, "Know ye, O man, that all of the future is an open book to him who can read. All effect shall bring forth its causes, as all effects grew from the first cause." He is telling us that the linear flow of time is an illusion. When you activate the generative principle, you step out of time. You step into what Bentov called the still point, the point where the pendulum pauses. In that silence, you are not waiting for the future to happen. You are remembering a future that you have already selected. This is the alchemical wedding. It is the marriage of the masculine the structure, the 7 laws, and the feminine, the energy, the 8th law. The result of this marriage is the divine child, which is your awakened reality. This is what the ancients meant by turning lead into gold. They were never talking about metal. They were talking about turning the heavy, leaden state of unconscious apathy into the golden, radiant state of generative care. You become a sun in your own solar system. Just as the sun holds the planets in orbit through its massive gravitational pull, you hold your reality together through the gravity of your care. Without the sun, the planets drift away. Without your care, your life drifts into entropy. You must be the star at the center of your own movie.
So we return to where we started. The 7 Hermetic Laws are the map of the labyrinth. They are perfect, they are true, and they are immutable. But a map cannot walk itself. A map cannot open the door. You are the key. The 8th principle is not written in the Kybalion because it cannot be written. It can only be felt. It is the pulse of the Creator that beats within the chest of the creation. It is the secret fire that Thoth guarded so jealously, not to keep it from you, but to wait until you were ready to carry it without burning yourself. We are living in a time of great forgetting. The noise of the digital matrix is designed to keep you in the lower 7 laws, reacting, thinking, analyzing, but never generating. They want you to be a consumer of reality, not an architect of it. They want your care to be harvested by fear, by outrage, by distraction. But now you know the mechanic. You know that your attention is not just observation, it is a fuel source. You know that your heart is a toroidal generator. You have the schematics of the machine. The question that remains is not, is it real? The question is, will you turn it on? Do not just watch this video and nod in intellectual agreement. That is the trap of mentalism. Take this knowledge and test it. Pick one thing in your life, one stagnant, heavy thing, and apply the 8th principle. Saturate it with generative care. Fuel it with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Watch how the hologram rearranges itself around you. This has been a transmission from the archives of the possible. We are decoding the wisdom of the past to build the physics of the future. If this transmission resonated with your frequency, if you felt the spark of the 8th principle ignite, then confirm your alignment. Like this video to amplify the signal. Share it with another soul who is ready to wake up. And subscribe to Mystical Journey Tales, because the journey does not end here. We have only just unlocked the first gate. Until next time, remember, the universe does not give you what you want. It gives you who you are.